Right here. Got a call the other day. The customer's panel was beeping. A little strange. So we opened it up. Found the surge protector. It was beeping. We reset it. It was in the red. That means it's got to be replaced. So that's what we are doing today, is replacing the in-panel surge protector. The procedure is pretty much the same. This is a Siemens. It's pretty much the same for the Eaton, the Square D home line. The Square D QO is a little bit different, but basically the same thing. It just, the clip is just a tiny bit different, but same procedure. Well, with no further yapping around, we're going to open this up. You probably want to have some sort of eye protection. We're going to do this live because the homeowner is working on their computer. Generally, you're probably better off to shut the panel down and do it. But I'm going to do it live. Like I said, the reason is the homeowner is working on their computers, and they're right in the middle of a project, so it's a little difficult to shut down. But depending on your experience, you should be able to do this live. The older panels, sometimes this might be in there much harder. You probably want to shut it down. This one should pop out pretty easy, so I'm okay with doing it live, especially with protection on. Generally, they got 2 bolts on the bottom, sometimes 1 on the bottom in the middle. You could have a couple on the top. You could have a couple here. So you got to take it out anywhere between 1 to 4 screws to get what they call the dead front off. Now, this is going to be a lot of exposed power here, so do be careful if you decide not to shut things down. If you got to watch this to be shown how to change out a surge protector, I'm thinking you're a little inexperienced. I would suggest at that point that you probably would be better to shut the main off and that you shut this thing down. And I'll let you go test it with a meter. Assume that it's still live. You never know what the condition of the breaker. You don't know if you have emergency backup power. It could be giving you power. But that was a short screw. They do have other kinds of surge suppressors that mount on the outside and brings wires into a breaker. That's a little bit different procedure. I'm not doing that today. I don't have those. Usually we've been doing the newer inline, in the box ones. Do not touch that. That is a no-no. I know that is live. I would suggest whenever possible, shut it down. You're going to have one wire to take off. Sometimes these pull out real easy. Sometimes they're a little rough. They're a little tight. When they're a little tight, make sure it's insulated. And it pops right off. As you can see, there's a red and a green. And that's your reset. So it was beeping, we reset it, it was in the red. That means it had a bad surge. When I'm opening this up and we had a surge, I double check, make sure everything is tight. Again, even with the breaker off, you could have a hot, like right here. These two are still very hot, still hot. This comes off your main meter. This is your main for another panel. So this is still hot. So when you're checking for tightness, checking for looseness, that might have been the surge problem. Most likely it was the power company, a lightning bolt hit in the area. That's usually what does the surge, not a problem in the panel. But while you're in there, just check tightness, make sure everything looks good, make sure nothing looks like it's overheating. This is Siemens brand, 65K. They do make a more affordable 35K. Would I put it in? No. I want the better protection. This house, they have quite a bit of computers. It's a home office. That's a lot of money if that burns out. So it comes with a neutral wire. It goes to the neutral bar. Comes pre-stripped. So when you put these in, you got little notches here. That's where the power is connected to. So you put that in first. That in first. You will feel when it hits the notches and stops. Now this is the way to make sure it's seated. You can do this, but gently. So that's all seated. And you can already see this flashing green. The old one was flashing red, which says no. I'm going to strip a little more of this off. And again, while you're in here, always act like that is live. That's it. That is how you change a in-the-panel surge protector. I'm going to go through here, make sure everything is tight while I'm in here. We did this install about two and a half years ago. So it's nice to come back and just take a look and see how everything is progressing. So I went through and I checked everything. It was tight. I basically just took my screwdriver and just gave it a turn. I noticed this one is off. I got to double check. I think I might have touched it when I took the cover off. I'm not sure. So I would check with the homeowner. Now, if you got aluminum wiring, you may want to use a Torx screwdriver for that. You can find out online on the sides, by the size of the screw, what torque it should be. The aluminum wire, you got to be a little more careful what you can over tighten it and actually smush it. But the copper wire, you can pretty much just twist. You're fine. You're good. So everything here is nice and tight. This is all copper wiring. So everything is all good. Like I say, we just went through here. Everything is good. Do a little shake. You look for discoloration. There might be a heat buildup problem, and everything is fine. So it's a nicely done install.